I think I'll start this video by saying thank you very much to all the people that have viewed the video on my experiences with CPTSD. I did not expect that amount of people looking and people subscribing, so many thanks to everyone who and have even commented as well. It's like I do appreciate that. I think with everything where it's not only a separation from yourself, but it can be an isolating thing to even a community. Not good to know that there's other people out there with my similar sort of I guess disorder, if you want to put it that way, but I guess it's good to know that we're all looking to each other to learn and grow. A little bit more about my story, as it was mentioned in the comments by a lady about going no contact, or had gone no contact for about 3 years. Similar story. I too am also a person that has chosen to go no contact with my family, or at least my parents. And I'm also not the only child in the family, sort of thing. I had a sister that she passed away. It wasn't easy for her, and it wasn't easy for myself. And as I say these words, I do hear echoed in my brain, oh, it's not that bad, Dion. It wasn't that bad. And you can sort of see the conditioning of what's happening. It's like, I don't choose to go no contact because, you know, I like the lifestyle. I like to be by myself. The sad thing is that there's that allure of like, well, it wasn't that bad. It's like, well, maybe things have changed now. Maybe I was wrong. It's like these little mind screws. To go no contact, to put it into context, is effectively orphaning yourself. You have a family, you have what you believe is normal, and that belief is a conditioned belief. Like, I look back now and it's like, it's being in an unsafe environment with the firm conditioned belief that you are safe, but it's just a waiting for the next storm. It's a waiting for the next, I don't know, like damned if you do, damned if you don't. Tripwires everywhere, sort of thing. You don't know what's going to set something off. Relationships come into it, with the ex-wife and that, and of course it's like where I'm the main possession, sort of thing, there's going to be conflict in that, of like, now I have to share my source. But over time, it's like, as I talked about the golden right, that's what was happening with my ex-wife. It's like she was getting offered all the gifts. She was like all these great things, until she's not the great thing, of course. There was a Mother's Day. There was my ex-wife said a comment that was completely misheard, completely misconstrued, to the point where my mother's on the phone screaming at my ex-wife that she's the mother and blah, 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 blah. I was alone in my decision to go no contact. Like, my ex-wife had gone off to India with her mother, and like on a holiday, that is, whilst I was going through my trauma recovery. After that argument, I was still to be the dutiful son. I was still to take care of my father. He couldn't take himself to hospital and all that. I was supposed to be all these things, even after this, because that's the thing. It's like, you can get completely blasted, like completely yelled at, told all these terrible things, probably a day or a couple of days later, or even just a few moments later, it's like it never happened. Like, literally just never happened. And you're left like reeling, going, oh my god, I just got absolutely dumped on with all this crap, and now this person's acting completely normal. And after that, it was like, life is normal. It wasn't normal for me anymore. It was I'm sick of this. I'm going to make a stand for myself. I did consider my ex-wife in that. I thought it was completely unfair that she's getting blasted for that. But it was my decision and my decision alone. So I made it. And I still stand by that choice, and I'll always stand by that choice because I'm not the one that needs to change. I have my things to recover from that, but I am not the one that is the source of that. How was it received that I made the choice to protect not only my own sense of self-being, but for my ex-wife and that? I was told to go back. So she had no part in the decision. She was very angry that she wasn't involved in that decision. I was told to go back because it was easier for her, even though she was getting also verbally abused. No, it's like, and having that no confidence to be able to stand on your own 2 feet, to be able to go forward in life, to hold your head up high and know that you made that choice to value yourself, to value your own sense of worth, to give yourself a chance at life. And every decision that I've not made great decisions. I've fallen down, I've stuffed up. You could say I had great teachers, but everything has been a relearning process and a standing on my own 2 feet. And not even having it to prove it to them or anything. Like, I'm not doing it out of spite, or it's like I'm going to show them all. It's like to give myself a chance, and to give myself the chance that my sister didn't get. And she's got 2 boys, and that's also something I had to walk away from that they didn't deserve. It is not an easy choice to go no contact. If you're considering it, think about what it is like now, what it's been in the past. Is this just simply because that's the thing, it's like, I don't want to sound like an arsehole sort of thing, but sometimes the parents do have a point, but it's also is the point to stop you from actually having a sense of value, to have a sense of worth, to be in service of, to be that little next hit sort of thing. Looking at all of that and realistically looking at what that looks like in the future of, like, I might call up and to see if, oh no, I'm getting yelled at again, and now it's like it's back in sort of thing. Is it like changing numbers, changing addresses? Is it these sorts of things to escape that? And once we escape it, it doesn't mean happy endings. It doesn't mean, well, I no longer am of service. Because now it's like, now I've got to service myself. I've got to like take care of myself, both physically and emotionally. That's what it comes down to. And there are moments where you'll feel extreme guilt. You'll feel extreme doubt. And I think over time, and especially when it comes to birthdays, people's birthdays, that guilt, that fear level will increase. It's like, oh my God, I'm not being the good son. I'm not being the good daughter or whatever. But for me, like the good son, like I'm failing them. I'm in so much trouble. But the guilt, once again, it's like, is it because that's how I was conditioned, or how you were conditioned to feel that as like you're not doing what you're supposed to do, so now you should feel guilty about that, so go back and do what I need you to do, as a manipulation? With the self-doubt, is it like, was it really that bad? And I can't answer that for you. I know for myself. I know if I pick it up, it's like, it would be like, oh no, it's like, oh, it was the ex-wife's fault sort of thing. It's like all this sort of thing. So thinking about that self-doubt, it's like, is it a desire to go back to be cared for, to be parented for? And that's the hard thing, because that's the desire that is constantly there sometimes. Is constantly there, because you're a kid at the end of the day. It doesn't matter how old you get. It's like you want that caring, you want that love, you want to be accepted, you want a family, you want to be included in something. But was it that way? Has it been that way? Will it be that way? are they open to changing? Are they open to accepting that they have some faults of their own? That maybe you're not the source of the blame and issues all the time. It's like, how much do you want to swim with the sharks? How much of the acid water do you want to like convince yourself that is alkaline? So in those moments where it's the birthdays for my nephews, and you know what, even for my parents, to have that, and even to myself, to have that moment of just quiet, that moment of stillness, and wishing them well, and wishing them a happy birthday or whatever it is, because I don't want to wish harm. I know what that does. And at least it gives me some form of peace in doing that. I think that decision was at least to give myself some peace. And it's a hard road to get to that, but I do have my moments. And at some point in your life, you gotta realize that fight was just a survival thing, just to keep you going every day. And life doesn't have to be that. Sometimes to value yourself, you gotta go through that devaluing crap, and that hurts. But to those that have gone no contact, I just want to acknowledge the strength, the bravery, the amount of fear that and doubt. But the courage that it takes. Basically walk a path by yourself, even if you've got people around you, people that are supportive. It's a decision that falls upon yourself, and that's not an easy choice. So I'll go now. I'm doing from Eflowtion Support Services. And thank you once again